With a long and storied baseball tradition, we welcome you inside PNC Park in the Steel City of Pittsburgh.
There are times in January when my nose is numb from the face-stinging cold and my car is hidden beneath a foot of snow, in which it's easy to feel a little down in the dumps. We call it seasonal affective disorder, I guess. In Finland, they call it Tuesday.
In the air to right center. There to handle it is Hart, and there's your first out.
But when Old Man Winter is at his fiercest and it seems like I'll never wear my favorite pair of shorts again, I find comfort in my faith. No, I'm not a Christian or a Muslim or anything like that. I'm a baseball fan. And unlike the gods of those religions, mine show up every summer, as sure as the sun rises and the green grass waits beneath the snow. Every year, like clockwork, baseball saves us. It's no coincidence that flowers bloom and temperatures warm as baseball season starts. The question is, which one causes the other? It's timeless, it's tradition, it's the greatest show on earth. And this is video gaming's best recreation of that annual magic. This is MLB 11, The Show.
And a fastball taken the other way, but this should be routine out there in right field. Jones is over just a few steps.
Obviously, I'm a huge fan of baseball, but I've taken some flack in the past for being far less of a fan of modern baseball video games. If you know that, this review is going to make a lot more sense. I love almost everything about MLB 11 The Show. It has some of the most incredibly detailed player models I've ever seen, a rich set of play modes, and honestly, just about everything you could possibly want in terms of multiplayer. The only problem is, unlike real baseball, it just isn't any fun. MLB 11 The Show prides itself on being the most realistic baseball game ever made, and in a lot of ways, it certainly is. I'm sure a lot of reviewers have pointed that out on other sites, but in its attempt to be as realistic as possible, I think this game kind of misses the point. I mean, baseball is a ridiculously complex game, but at the same time, it isn't. I mean, there's nothing complex about throwing a baseball. At least, nothing this complex. Game controls. Page 1 is game controls. So they continue on page 2 and 3. So that's a lot of different controls. Oh wow, they continue on 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Oh wow, and 8 and 9. So wow, it's literally 10 pages. It takes 10 pages to tell you how to control this game. Now, some people consider this baseball realism. They consider this faithful to the sport. All I know is when I learned to play baseball, I didn't need 16 pages of instructions on how to swing the bat. I didn't have to read a novel to learn how to turn a double play. And one of the many reasons so many kids play baseball when they're young is that it's easy to play. Another is that it's so much fun to play. I appreciate the content and the modes and all that stuff this game offers. I just wish it were more fun to actually play them. As I said, a lot of critics have talked about how realistic this game is, at least in their definition of the term, and they've gone into how great the options and modes are. But if you want my personal opinion on MLB 11 The Show, if you want to hear something a little bit different from everything else you'll hear about this game, here it is. This is the most visually realistic baseball video game ever made, and for that, it's almost stunningly impressive. It's impossible not to recognize that this is the best modern baseball game around. It's complex, it's deep, and it does everything it tries to do well. Actually, no, it does it exceedingly well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play RBI baseball.
The middle, and past the diving infielder, that's a base hit. And the throw will go to second as they get to force out. Swing, hot shot.